Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. My name is Faith. Thank you so much for being here. Today is like the most fun video of the entire year. Best of Beauty 2018. I love Best of Beauty videos at the end of the year, and I'm actually going through each and every category. Most of these are new products that came out this year that really were awesome. Others are just products that were new to me that didn't necessarily come out this year, but I discovered them this year. And then there's a couple items that might have even been in my Best of Beauty last year that I still had to talk about because I use them all the time. So like I said, I'm going through each and every category. I'm starting with skincare, then moving into like primers, foundations, all the way through to eyeshadows, mascaras, and setting sprays. Every single category will be covered. If as you're watching this video you like what you see and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would love it if you did that. All you have to do is hit the red subscribe button. It's totally free, and then tap the notification bell as well. That'll give you a little pop-up notification every time I upload a video. I upload videos twice a week, and this channel is mostly beauty, fashion, makeup, hair, things like that. But let's hop right on into the video because I have a feeling this might be a long one. Okay, starting with skincare, I actually have a full dedicated video on this product because it was such a standout product for me this year. It was not a new release, but it's something I started trying probably about a year ago, and I've been using it all year, and it's just saved my skin. This is the Clinique Redness Solutions Soothing Cleanser. So this is my like face wash that I use every day. I do take my makeup off with a makeup wipe, and then I wash my face with this. I do tend to get like pretty red, and I'm more on the dry side. So if you are like that, I highly recommend this. This has been like life-changing. It doesn't leave my face feeling like squeaky clean, like dry clean. It makes it feel like I almost put on a moisturizer after I'm done washing my face. So I really love this, and again, I will link the video down below where I talk all about this product. Just a couple other skincare items I wanted to mention. This was a new release this year. This is from Tatcha, and it is the Camellia Gold Spun Lip Balm. This actually just came out about a month ago, but I've been using it daily and I love it. It's so cool. It has like little gold flecks in it. The packaging is gorgeous, and it looks really nice on the lips. So I would normally, like on a daily basis, put on a lip liner and some sort of balm. I've been using this because it just adds a little bit of like shimmer and like super shine, and it really has hydrated my lips. My lips were so dry, and this has helped. What also has helped is using this Fresh Sugar Lip Balm at night. It's a lip treatment. I talked about this in some sort of skincare video, and I kind of got away from using it. I got lazy and wasn't putting it on at night, and my lips were so cracked and dry. This is actually the original one I normally like to buy. This is just the Sugar Lip Treatment with the SPF 15. But they have been out of stock of this one for a while. So this one is basically the same exact thing. It's a Sugar Advanced Therapy Lip Treatment. This one just doesn't have the SPF in it, which is fine because I just put this on before bed. It's the most hydrating lip balm I have ever used. So if you have really bad cracked lips and you're just like out of options, you've tried everything, I would try this. It is pricey. It's a high-end lip balm, but it's really worth it. Okay, moving into primers. I think only one of these is new, so I will talk about the new one. I'm pretty sure this was a release this year. If it wasn't, it was a release last year. This is the MAC Strobe Cream in Gold Light. This I got about a month ago, so this is a little bit newer to me, but I've used it almost every day since. I'm obsessed with it. It's so glowy, and it is the only glowy primer I've ever used that actually still shows through my foundation. Like a lot of times I'll use a really nice glowy primer, but then even if I used a satin finish foundation or even a dewy finish foundation, a lot of that glow goes away. This is so glowy that it actually shows through, and it's also super hydrating, and it also doesn't have a weird scent. I hate scents in primers, so I love that this does not have a scent. And yeah, just the Gold Light Strobe Cream. It also comes in like a pinkier sheen, I think, but I like the gold for my skin tone. Another glowy primer I loved this year was the Laura Mercier Foundation Primer Radiance one. So they have like a regular primer, but this is the Radiance one. This is super glowy, but it's almost even more like a moisturizer than the MAC one. The MAC one's like a glow. This one's like a glowy moisturizer, so if you have really dry skin, I would recommend this. It doesn't necessarily show through your foundation too much, but it just gives your skin a really nice glowy look. If you were just going to then put on a BB cream or just a tinted moisturizer over this, it does show through. I used the Laura Mercier tinted moisturizer over this and it looks really, really pretty. The last primer I want to talk about, I'm not sure if this was new this year, but it was new to me. It's from Paula's Choice and it's the Resist Smoothing Primer Serum with SPF 30. This is the type of primer that is more like that silicone pore filling primer, which I actually normally don't like those. I normally just like really moisturizing, glowy primers, but this one was kind of like a smoothing, blurring, pore filling type primer that I really, really liked. It just made my skin feel so soft without making it feel like it was getting clogged. Like sometimes the Benefit Professional just feels like thick. I don't know. This is really nice. It's like a clear serum, but it really, can you see it's just like a dot? It really smooths everything out. It's really nice. Foundation lays over top of it. Super, super nice. So this was a new discovery for me this year and I really loved it. Next on to foundations, I have one new foundation that I discovered this year and then a couple others that I still just want to mention that I think were probably in my best of beauty last year. But the new one I have is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear. I got this maybe in the summer sometime and I've been loving it. It's like a satin to matte finish. It's not super dewy, but it works for me even though I'm really dry. It doesn't dry me out and it's just a really nice foundation for pictures. Like when I'm filming, it looks really nice because it's more full coverage. But I really liked this. It was surprising because I have my favorite foundations that I use all the time and normally nothing competes with it, and this really did this year. I really, really enjoyed this. But let me talk about some of the foundations that I just always love and have loved for years. First, I'll talk about what I have on my face right now, and it is a combination of the Too Faced Born This Way foundation and the LA Girl Pro Coverage Illuminating Foundation. I really like the Too Faced Born This Way on its own in the summer, but in the winter it's a little bit too drying on me, so I add in the LA Girl Pro Coverage Illuminating Foundation. I don't really like this on its own because it's almost too dewy and oily, and it has kind of a stink to it. It's a really affordable foundation, but it kind of just smells. So I like mixing them together or just using the Too Faced Born This Way one on its own. This has really good coverage. It's like medium to full coverage and it's like a satin finish. I have a couple shades of each that I just mix around depending on what color I am. And I also wanted to mention my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow foundation. This is my favorite drugstore foundation of all time. It's just really good. It's super glowy without being oily or anything like that. They also have a Pro Matte version, so if you are on the oily side, I would recommend that one. Whenever anybody asks me for a drugstore foundation recommendation, I always tell them about this foundation. So I had to mention this, even though you guys have probably seen me use this a million times. Okay, next on to concealer. I'm going to keep this really quick. It's very obvious. I use it in every video. It's just the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This, again, was in my Best of Beauty last year. I did want to mention this year there were a few concealers that kind of went viral that everybody was talking about that I did try, but I just didn't like them. So there was the Kylie concealer that came out like very early. It might have even been end of 17, but like early 2018. It was okay. I didn't love it. There was also the Makeup Revolution concealers. I don't know if you remember those. Those were like a big deal. I didn't really love them. They just were almost too hydrating under my eyes, which I know is weird because I talk about how I'm really dry. But under my eyes, I need something like thick and just cover, like just coverage. So I love this Tarte Shape Tape. I won't spend a ton of time talking about it because you guys already know. But if you have not tried this and you're looking for a really full coverage concealer, definitely try it. I want to quickly just talk about a couple brow products. As you guys know, if you watch any of my videos, I use the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer for my like pencil liner, well, pencil fill-in, what is it called? Brow pencil. So I wasn't going to talk about that too much just because I talk about it all the time, but a couple new products to me this year, and the actual name on this one has completely rubbed off, but these are both from Lime Crime. This is the Bushy Brow Precision Pen. So it's like a little pen. I used this today and I've been using it for like months to add some hair-like strokes towards the front of my brow where I really don't have a lot of hairs, and it just looks so natural. And then this is the Lime Crime Brow Gel. It's in the shade Smoky. I think both of these are like the darkest shade. I just love how tiny and precise the little spoolie is, and I love the color in it. So I wanted to mention these two. These were new to me in 2018 and I really love them. Okay, now on to face powders. I'm gonna first talk about a product that was completely new to me this year. I don't think it was a new release, but it was something new that I tried maybe in the springtime, and I've been using it a ton since then. This is the Lancome Absolute Powder. I heard about this from Jaclyn Hill. She used this in her foundation routine and talks about it all the time. It's a glowy powder. I don't know how else to say it. It's not a shimmer. It's not like a highlight really. You could pack it on and use it as a highlight, but really what it does best is just lay over your whole skin and create a sheen. I don't know if that's showing up, but it's really gorgeous. I did use this in the foundation routine where I tested Jaclyn's foundation routine, and I loved it, and I've been using it a ton since. It just makes your skin look so glowy. This is the shade Absolute Peach. It's more of a yellow peachy tone. They have a really pink one, a really light one, a deeper one, but this is the shade I really like to use. A product that was new to me, embarrassingly enough, but has been around for so long, but I just wanted to mention because it was new to me this year and I used it a ton, was the Laura Mercier Loose Original Translucent Powder. Obviously, I know you guys have probably heard of this. It's been around and talked about on YouTube for years and years and years. I just never really had one. I tried one in store and for whatever reason I didn't like it, so I just didn't get it, but then I got one this year and wanted to really give it a go, and I love it. I love it for my under eyes, and then I'll tap a little bit down the center of my face. So again, this is just the original loose translucent powder from Laura Mercier. Laura Mercier did come out with a new version of this year. It was like a glow one. I don't remember what the name of it was, but I did do a video comparing the two, and I just like the original one better. So I wanted to mention that. And then I'll quickly go over a couple other powder products that I talk about all the time that I don't want to bore you guys with. The first is just the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Foundation Powder. I use this to set my whole face. So it's just a pressed foundation powder. It never makes my skin look dry. So I do have dry skin overall, and a lot of powders can accentuate that. This face powder never does, and it does a great job of setting down my liquid foundations so that everything stays in place. And then I also wanted to mention the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette. I talk about this a lot and have for years, but I just have used this like weekly all year, especially these under eye shades. You can see they're completely gone. And then I did want to, as we transition into bronzers and contour, talk about this as well. These two shades down here I use all the time for contouring, and so that brings me into more bronzers and contours. This again is not a new product this year, but it was one that I really used up a lot, and it's the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. I use this specifically for contour when I don't want something too cool, but obviously for contour you don't want something really warm. I think that this is just the perfect neutral bronzer. It's not too warm, not too cool. It's really nice for contour, but you can also use it to bronze up your whole face if you're not too like yellowy, warm toned. I'm a little bit too yellowy to do that, but I love using it for contour. And then what I loved this year is the MAC Give Me Sun. This is a very orangey terracotta bronzer, but it's perfect for when you have a fake tan because it matches that like kind of more golden tone. So I loved to use these in conjunction. I would use the Too Faced as my contour and then lay this a little bit over top on the cheeks and forehead and everything like that. Again, these are not new products, but they were products that were kind of new to me this year. Another contour product I want to mention is from Charlotte Tilbury. I got this a couple months ago and I've been loving it. It's super nice. This is the Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. This contour shade is so nice, especially if you are fair. So when I don't have a fake tan or a natural tan, this is the perfect shade for me. I think this is This is the fair medium one. It comes in other shades, but this is the fair medium one. It's just like light enough that it doesn't look harsh. A lot of the other, like the Kat Von D one and the Too Faced powders, they're like a little bit too deep when I'm fair. This is perfect. And the highlight in here is really, really pretty as well. I'll talk about highlights in a little bit, but I really liked this bronzer. I did also want to mention a brush that I used with the MAC Give Me Sun. This is the Delium 959 powder blending brush. I got this year, and this was like a bronzer life changer. It's just the perfect soft big brush. It gets my bronzer done so fast, but it's sort of like domed, so you can still be a little bit precise. So I wanted to mention this. I'll link Delium down below. They're my favorite brushes. Aside from Sigma, I do really like Sigma brushes as well, but Delium tools are really, really good. I don't think a lot of people talk about them. Some do, but really good. Okay, now on to blush. I'm going to talk about one that you guys have heard me talk about before, and then a couple new ones this year. This is the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. I love all of the Milani Baked blushes, but this is my favorite, so I wanted to point this one out. It's so glowy and just gorgeous. It makes your cheeks look so, so pretty. So I wanted to mention that, and it's drugstore, which is awesome. I think these were new releases this year. If not this year, then it was late last year. These are the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trios. This one is Peachy Love, and then this one is called Pool Party. And I really love these. The only thing I don't love is I have a really big blush brush that I like, and it's kind of hard to get into the individual colors, but they're just so pigmented and they last a super, super long time. So I wanted to mention those, but probably the most standout blush product that was new this year, this was a new release, was from Carity. They came out with a ton of these Blush Bomb palettes. I think there were like 4 different shade selections, but this one was my favorite. This is the Coral Kaboom palette, and I'm wearing this blush today. It's called On Point. It's like a glowy, corally shade. It does have like a sheen to it. This one in the middle might look intimidating and like orangey, but it's actually really pretty. It's called Gorgeous. And then the highlight in here I also want to talk about. I am wearing the highlight today as well. It's called Perf, and I'm obsessed with this highlight. It's so gorgeous. So that brings me into highlights. 2 highlights that I believe were new this year that I loved was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlight. I did do a video on this comparing it to like 10 different popular highlighters. That video did really well. A lot of you guys liked it. I'll put that down below, but this was just a gorgeous highlighter. The packaging and like concept of the wave in it was so cool, and the color itself is just stunning. So this was in collaboration with Amrezy. I don't know if I said that. But this was new this year, and it was awesome. Another palette that was new to me, and I think it was new this year, but I'm not 100% sure. This is the Ofra Glow Up palette, and it has all of the really awesome Ofra highlighters all in one. So this big one is the Beverly Hills highlighter. Then you have Star Island. This one down here is Blissful, and this is Rodeo Drive, which is a really, really popular Ofra highlighter. Actually, when I did the video on the Anastasia Amrezy highlight, I didn't have any Ofra highlights at that point to compare it to, and I got a lot of comments saying like, what about Ofra highlighters? Why didn't you compare it to that? And that's what actually prompted me to look into Ofra highlighters, and I'm really glad I did because they're really good. They're the only highlighters I've found that are on par with the Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighters. They're so intense and metallic and so gorgeous. I have to mention the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in Sun Dipped. I'm pretty sure this was in my Best of Beauty last year, but I just use this all the time, especially this shade right here called Summer. It's so pretty and it's so perfect, and I can use it whether I'm fair or fake tanned, and I love this palette. This is my favorite of all of the glow kits, and I wanted to mention it. Next up, I have some eyeshadow palettes to talk about. I will quickly talk about one that I talked about last year and all this year, and it should not come as a surprise. It is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I will just quickly mention this. I use it on a daily basis pretty much. It's amazing, but I don't want to over talk about it because I talk about it all the time. So let's talk about a few palettes that were new this year. The first one is the BH Cosmetics Desert Oasis palette. This is an affordable palette, and it's so gorgeous. I was so impressed by this. I think this is literally like $20 something. It's amazing. You also get 2 bronzers and a bunch of highlights, but the eyeshadows themselves are so good. So I definitely wanted to mention this. And then I have 2 from Anastasia Beverly Hills that were new this year. So there was the Norvina palette and also the Soft Glam. This is actually pretty new to me. I only just got it last month, but I'm obsessed with it. It's so gorgeous. When I first saw it in the, like on Trend Mood and on the Anastasia Instagram, I was kind of like, I'm bored because it's like the same old stuff, but here's the deal. Anastasia shadows, the quality is so good, the metallics are so intense, and I love the variety of like light to dark, so it's just gonna be such a good palette to have. But the Norvina palette was really cool because it was a little bit different. It has purples and pinks and things like that, so I definitely wanted to get my hands on this, and I did a bunch of videos with this, I think at least 2 or 3, and it is a really nice palette, so I wanted to mention both of those. I have one eyeliner I want to mention that was new this year. This is from IBY Beauty. It is their Jet Black Precision Liquid Liner, I believe it's called. This eyeliner is like a hidden gem. It is so easy to use. The tip is so precise, but it's stiff enough where if you're like drawing the line, it's not going to just bend all over, and it also releases the perfect amount of pigment and like liquid liner as it goes, so it's really easy to work with. If you're new to liquid liner, I would definitely try this, and the price point is really good. They're a little bit more than drugstore prices, but like not much at all. So I'll link their website down below. You can only get them online on their website. They're not sold in any of the other stores right now, but I really, really loved this. Moving into mascaras, I have 2 that I want to talk about. One was a new release and one was not, but it was new to me. I'll talk about the new release first. This is the Glossier Lash Slick Mascara. This was new from Glossier this year, and I am wearing it today, though I'm wearing falsies, so you're probably not really getting the sense for it, but I always use this mascara when I do false lashes because the great thing about this mascara is how it separates out your lashes. It's also perfect for the lower lash line. I don't know why, but I have the hardest time doing mascara on my lower lash line. For the longest time, I just didn't do it because no matter how careful I was and how little I put on, it would always transfer, it would look clumpy, and this is the first mascara that has not done that for me. So if you have an issue with lower lash mascara or even just clumpiness on your top lashes, I highly recommend this. It's partly to do with the wand, but it's also partly to do with the formula. It's so nice, and I am a Glossier rep, so if you ever shop through my link, you get 30% off, which is really awesome because Glossier is definitely more expensive than drugstore, but if you get up to, I think it's like $30 worth of product, you can get 30%, oh maybe it's not 30%, it might be like 20% off, but it's something. I'll put that down below. It's a really good mascara. I highly recommend it. But if I ever wanted to add a little more drama or thickness, this is the mascara I went for this year. This is the Lancome Grandiose Extreme Mascara. And I have a couple others from Lancome that I really love, like the Monsieur Big and everything like that. But this one just put all those other ones to shame. This one I was a little skeptical about too because the wand is weird. It's like one of those curved wands, which I didn't really know if I needed or liked, but it really doesn't bother me. The formula of this and the brush is just so good. It's a thinner formula, but it builds up super nicely. So it never looks like spidery clumpy, but it builds up to like a thick lash. So I actually love to combine these whenever I'm not wearing falsies. I'll do this on top and bottom, the Glossier Lash Slick, and then I'll just do the Lancome one on the top. Moving on to lip products, I have 3, and I'm actually wearing all 3 of them on my lips right now. The first is the NYX lip liner. I just have a little stub left. This is in the shade Natural. I went through probably 7 of these this year, like no joke. This is my favorite lip liner of all time, and the shade Natural is the one that I always use. It's SPL 810 is the number, but it's the shade Natural, and it's just the NYX Slim Lip Pencils. I think they're like $2 or $3. So good. I like pencils that I actually have to manually sharpen, and I like the ones that are like in a wooden formula. I know a lot of people don't. They prefer the ones that are like more of the gel, or I don't know how to describe it, but personally for me, I feel like these last longer and you can really get a sharp tip on them, and I just love this shade. I would get asked so often on Instagram in my stories or on pictures what lip color I was wearing, and it almost like every single time was this shade right here. It's just like the perfect nude, and I would just wear this out as my whole lip color. I'd line my lips and then fill it in, add a chapstick over or something like that, and I was good. But if I ever wanted to add more, the product I've used the most and loved the most this year is the Gerard Cosmetics Nude Matte Lipstick. It's like the perfect nude shade. I'm so glad I discovered this year. It's so good. So I'm wearing that today over the liner, and then I topped it with the Glossier lip gloss, which I believe also was in my Best of Beauty last year, but it's just the best lip gloss I've ever used. It does not feel sticky, but it is so shiny. Like, it's the most shiny gloss I've ever used, and I like that it's clear. It doesn't really look clear because I've put it over like nude lipsticks and colors, but it is a clear gloss, and I just love it. It's not sticky, but it's like there. Like, it's not oily, if that makes sense. It's the best lip gloss ever. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. You gotta try it. Okay, last category is setting sprays, and I believe 2 of these were new this year and 1 was not, but it was new to me. I'll talk about that one first. This is the Lila B Aglow Face Mist. I cannot believe I'm through almost the whole bottle. This is so expensive. I picked this up for the Jaclyn Hill foundation routine video, and this is like $60 for a face spray, which is absolutely outrageous. But it's kind of that good. Like, there's nothing that makes my skin look dewier and glowier than this. I actually didn't use it today because I wanted to use another one of my favorites. This is the MAC Fix Plus Gold Light. This was new along with the Gold Light Strobe Cream. It's like their regular Fix Plus, but it has shimmers of gold in it, and this also makes your skin look really, really dewy and glowy. But this Lila B one is like, oh my gosh, it's so good. I don't know if I'll repurchase it. I'll maybe ask for it as a gift, but it's so good. But the MAC Fix Plus one is really good too as an alternative. And then I did want to mention the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This was new this year, I believe. The reason I want to bring this up is because it's an aerosol can. So it's just a continuous mist that you can just hold out. And it's such a fine mist. It's so nice because I was noticing like this Fix Plus spray is very like, I don't know, it's very like thick, so it can sort of like mess up your eye makeup or put like big splotches. You do have to be careful, but this never does that because it's such a fine mist. It is really nice, and I have to say, I'm not saying this to be rude, but I'm not really a big Morphe fan. I do like their eyeshadows, but I don't really like their brushes, and I haven't really tried anything else, so I was really impressed by this, and I had to mention it. I think the technology behind it, like the idea of it, is really good, and I wish other companies would all make their setting sprays in aerosol cans. I don't know why they don't, but they should. That is it, you guys. That is my Best of Beauty for 2018. I can't believe 2018 is over. It kind of flew by, but I'm really excited for 2019. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I would love for you to comment down below what your favorite makeup product of 2018 was. That way maybe I will have some new things to try in 2019. I do just want to also take the time to thank you all, thank all my subscribers for being such amazing, loyal followers of mine this year. You don't know how much it means to me to see you guys commenting like on every video and talking back and forth with you. That is what keeps me going, is when you guys talk with me in the comment section and I get to know you guys. Like, otherwise I'm just talking to a camera and uploading a video that like nobody cares about. It feels so much better when I see that you guys are interacting with each other and me in the comment section, and I just want to say thank you to my super loyal subscribers. It's been an awesome year and I can't wait for 2019. But that is it, you guys. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!